1994 Honda Accord in the shop today, intermittent no start. I think it's the main relay. Did a little testing already, so I'm gonna pull that out and we are gonna look at some of the solder joints on there. So to get it out, all you gotta do is just kind of work it up and then you can get it out. So the symptoms this vehicle was exhibiting was it would crank and crank and crank and just never start. And that pretty much tells you that the starter is good, the battery is good. So this is either a fuel or a spark issue. I noticed the check engine light doing some funny things, which I'll talk about later. And that's why I'm going towards the fuel first and mainly the main relay. So you just spread these apart and then this whole thing slides out. I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get a shot of this. See these little solder joints, the solder starts to crack right there. You can see a crack right there. That's one of the main relays. There's two relays on this. A couple small cracks on this one here. Little airline cracks. There's a pretty good crack on this one. See those little cracks that goes around the circle there? Sometimes it makes these relays not work and then the car doesn't start. So we're just gonna hit those with some solder and put this back in the car. I use a little bit of new solder here just to facilitate heat transfer, but what you're really doing is just heating up the old solder so that it reconnects the circuit. I end up hitting every solder joint just as a preventative measure. This is the one here that looked the worst. And these outer ones are big joints for the relay. And that's what we like to see, all super glossy, shiny solder joints. These are all repaired. And the relays don't usually fail. It's always the solder joints that fail. So I'm gonna throw this back in the car right now. So the way you can tell these main relays are bad is when you turn the key to the on position, the check engine light turns on, you hear a click, and then it turns off and you hear a click. So I'm gonna see if I can get this on camera. So that click, as soon as it turns off, tells you that the main relay is working. If you don't hear a click, let me do it again. Right there, that click. If you don't hear that click, that means the main relay is not working properly. And you can go in here and sometimes fix it by soldering those joints. So let's fire it up. She starts. It was an intermittent problem. I wasn't getting the problem all the time, but I did notice that when I turned the key to the on position, I did not hear that click, which is what made me go in and solder those joints. Well, we'll give this back to the customer. We'll tell them to monitor it. It should be fixed though, just based on my experience with previous vehicles. Thanks for watching.